Hey everyone, this is Real Estate Riches Podcast, and boy, is it going to be rich, full of the wealth and the tips and the tricks of all kinds of successful agents, because that's what you want to be, right? A business builder who has success in their business. Well, that's what we got going on here. And I'm going to have all kinds of agents, men, women, young or older, sharing all their stuff because there's technology, there's just how do you build your business? There's so many questions, right? So let's learn from some of the best. Gather your wealth and build your business. That's what this channel is all about. And I'm excited to bring it to you. I'm Kathy Byrnes and I'll be your host. And stay tuned. Let's get at it, right? So, hey, everybody. It's Kathy Byrnes. I'm your host here, and we're on Real Estate Riches. And today, my guest is Caten Murphy, and I'm so excited to have you, Caten.
Hi guys, I'm so excited to be here. I just love you, Kathy.
Thanks so much. We just did a recording the other day, so it was great. Well, I just love you because, and I wanted you on here because not only are you highly successful at such a young age, however, you're tech savvy, you're an investor, you're doing all these amazing things. And since this is real estate riches, we want to know some of your riches, your secrets, your tips. So let's start with a little bio, give everybody a little
Sure.
background.
Sure. So I like to joke that I fell into real estate. I guess a little backstory. My mom has been in real estate my whole life. She was in new home sales when I was growing up. So like going to model homes was just the most fun thing for me. So I definitely always had a thing for real estate, but I never actually thought I was going to have a career in real estate. So the summer before my senior year of college, my family and I fell into a real estate investing seminar. And we all kind of looked at each other. Both my parents were in completely different careers. And we all kind of looked at each other and we are like, I think we're going to go for this. So I was
Hmm.
studying marketing and psychology at the time. So for me, it felt like a great fit because I didn't have to go into a W-2 job. I could start this business with my family. So
Yeah.
um, I came out of school and went straight into investing. I had gotten my real estate license that previous summer as well, just like kind of as a backup plan. But I
Uh-huh.
really didn't expect to use it that much. I really wanted to go all in on investing. So
Yeah.
I didn't use it for probably a year. I didn't. And
Wow.
then I saw, because my mom had hers, obviously, I saw how much she was making listing all of our flips. And I was like, I think I might be missing something here. So I started to, I mean, I'm in my late 20s and I've got a lot of my network are first time home buyers. And so
Uh-huh.
naturally people would come to me and say, hey, can you help me buy a house? And so naturally my has kind of evolved into both sides, the investing and the just general real estate brokerage. But it's been a really cool, I think it's been a really cool path for me. And the experience has been absolutely invaluable to have both.
Yeah, really. Well, think about it. Here you are in your late 20s, and if you had gone a W-9, is that what they're called? W-9, W-2?
W2.
W-2. I haven't had one since the 70s, so that's another story. But I mean, I can't imagine working for somebody else. I like having total control of my life, and you're young and you're tech savvy and you've got your folks, kind of being guides, even though your dad wasn't necessarily in the business. He's a businessman though, isn't he?
Sure. Yeah. 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 And
Yeah.
they didn't have, we really did start this business together. Like it wasn't like I just walked in on the family business. It was like, no, we're going to build this from the ground up together. So there was
Oh,
a lot of learning along the way, but both my parents are very smart business people, have experience from other careers for sure.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I know you just flipped one in the point here in the area of Lake Norman, North Carolina, which was really exciting because that was a good size price point to get involved in. How did that all go for you?
That actually, it went fabulous. That's been our favorite one yet. We did have, obviously there's challenges with each one, of course, but
Yep.
that was a cool one. I mean, it was a referral from somebody I went to high school with, because I
Huh.
was born and raised here in the Charlotte area, and he knew that I had the experience of both sides of the business and could
Uh-huh.
help to bring that specific homeowner through the process and give her multiple options. And that's exactly what we did. And I mean, it was under contract in 24 hours, and like I said, it's the most proud flip we've done thus far.
That was awesome because it was a cool house too. And share some of the challenges that you had with that.
Yeah, I mean, when we give homeowners multiple options, one of them is always, a cash offer and we purchase it as is. But when you purchase
Hmm.
it as is, you don't necessarily know what you're walking into, what's behind the
Right.
walls. So there had been the homeowner, unfortunately, for personal circumstances, had neglected the home a little bit, and there had been some water damage and some termite damage, and things
Mhm.
like that. So when we started to do our inspections, we kind of noticed some of that, and we didn't know to what extent until we got really into it. So that
Yeah,
was a big one. We always build in contingencies into our projects, and
sure.
thankfully for things like that. But that was one of them. And then our lead contractor on the job ended up hurting himself, not on our job, but just on doing something separately, and completely had to stop working for us. So
Oh,
we had to pull in some of the other guys who were helping to then take over kind of full time. And that
wow.
was hard. That was really,
Sure.
really difficult. So I'd say those were our two biggest ones for sure.
Yeah. So when you buy a house like that and you're buying it as is, you're still allowed to do inspections, right?
Yeah, you are. And we do sometimes we'll do like a full home inspection on the
Mm-hmm.
property. Other times we'll just kind of do our own inspections or bring our contractors out. This one we
Mm-hmm.
did, just because of the nature of the price point. We didn't want any surprises, anything like
Yeah.
that. So you can still do your own due diligence, but you're still purchasing the property as is. So there's no expectation of having to renegotiate,
Right.
or getting your money back. So that's just kind of the risk that you have to run. Of
Right.
course, you can still try.
So when you did that, like we're a due diligence state, so you had to put due diligence money down, I'm assuming?
Yeah, we do it so we don't use the standard OTP for
Oh,
that side of the things. We use the standard OTP for any real estate transactions where I'm acting as a real estate agent. But
okay.
when our LLC is purchasing that property, then there's an attorney drawn contract, but it's a simple like two-pager. It's not 16. So we do earnest money, which pretty much acts as the same thing. I mean, it still acts as a non-refundable deposit, kind of a security for the seller.
Oh, it does. See, that's interesting. So you basically go in and you say, if you want us to just give you cash and you walk, that's usually what, about a 30% hit off the current value or appraised value?
It would be off. It's all based off of market value. So we run all of our numbers based on the ARV, which is after repair value. So we're
Okay.
we're running everything back off there. So that's our top number. We're subtracting in financing costs, repair costs, you, a realtor commissions, things like that, selling fees. So um, yeah, there's a lot of things that go into play, and people are like, oh well, if it's going to cost $100,000 to do the repair, there's a really big spread here, and I'm like, what's really not that big because there's so many other costs that you're not aware of,
Yeah,
that go into it. So that's why we like to offer multiple solutions, because that cash offer might not work for everybody because their goal might be getting the most money. And so that's
sure.
when having a real estate license or having team members with a real estate license really come to benefit, because then you can say, all right, cool. Well, then if that's your top priority, here's what you need to do, and here's what we think we could list for.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. And you sold it in 24 hours.
Hmm.
That was pretty exciting. I didn't know you'd be able to sell it that fast. But you also bring in, does your mom work with you on the design? Because I know you got
Yeah.
a great eye, and so the two of you work on the designs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We, from the start, that's been something that we both, thankfully, we've got kind of the same taste. So we don't butt
Uh-huh.
heads much on it. But yeah, that's something that we both really enjoy. We'll go through and we'll meet up at Floor and Decor or wherever it is and just kind of put this vision of the design together. So
Uh-huh.
that's been a fun
Yeah.
thing that we get to do.
Yeah, and it's cool too. Every house I've ever seen you do it. I've seen you do some much older homes, like down in Charlotte, where there are ranches, and some of them are very funky wall designs and stuff.
Yeah.
And yet you just bring it together, and I think it's the design that makes it pop, which makes it sell. Don't you?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, you really do have to be in touch, because I mean, you as a real estate agent, I'm sure you've watched some flips and you're just like, what is this? Why did they do
What did they
this? And
do?
the buyers feel that. So you really do have to stay up on, what the trends are and what buyers like, and
Yeah,
try not to get too funky or put your own personal taste in it if you do,
right.
kind of ebb on the side of like funky or unique, because
Yeah.
you got to appeal to the masses.
Right. That is such a good point because you'll have a seller say, "My house is so great, it's so beautiful and so unique." And I'll say, "Your house is unique, which makes our pool of buyers smaller. If it's very taste specific, boom, we just shrank down. You could have a stunning piece of property in a great location, even a beautiful home, but it's beautiful more to you and more
Mhm.
to a very small niche. And boy, I've had them like that. And it's hard to get that. It's a walking a thin line of telling the seller, not everybody likes what you like.
It is. It's tough. I mean, I've had multiple listing appointments where it's like, we spent $50,000 upgrading our kitchen with like all of this custom cabinetry. And I'm like, it's beautiful, but also you did this 10, 15 years ago, and that might have been the
Yes.
style then, but it's not now. And so, yeah, it is kind of, I think, showing comps and showing what's sold and things like that really helps to kind of be like, this is what people are looking for. This is how quickly that this is going off the market, kind of
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah. Being a real estate agent is a lot of different hats,
It's a
right?
lot of different
A lot of
hats.
different hats.
I love when people think that all we do is open up doors and collect checks. I'm like, come on then, come try it out.
Yeah, yeah. That's why 80% leave the business in the first 2 years.
Yeah,
They find out there's a reality. This is a business.
yeah.
And but like you succeeded at this. And another thing that you do, you're great with your marketing. You do, I think, almost exclusively on Instagram, and you have
Hmm.
a way of capturing people through a tool that you use where you attract all your clients to you, or the majority. I'm sure, of course, you've got repeat now that you've been in the business. So what have you been in? 5 years now?
Yep,
Five
yep,
years. So here you are in the business 5 years. Of course, you've had lots of sales because you're a top producer in the area. And so you're going to get repeat sales. You're going to get their family and their friends, that because you're that nurturer who takes care of her clients, right?
yep, yep,
And,
totally.
and that's a big part too. But the
Yeah,
marketing that you do, that's a big deal.
yeah. I really operate, and I have since the beginning, on like serve, 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 then sell kind
Hmm.
of thing. You
Yep.
will not find me asking for business in a lot of my marketing. You're going to see me giving, hey, if you're looking to buy a home in this market, here's what you need to do. Hey, if you're looking to buy in, 6 months, here's what you need to do. Or if you're looking to sell, here's what you need to do to prep. So I'm giving away all my secrets for free. But that prompts people. It works. I mean, an attraction-based marketing. That's exactly what
Yep.
you just said. It works so well because I basically have built that know, like, and trust factor without even knowing that people were following me, because they just continually see me showing up and giving value, that when
Yep.
they're ready, it's a no-brainer. And they're
Right.
like, all right, hey, I've been following you. Let's go. I've
Let's
had,
go.
I can't even tell you anymore. I've had so many people just DM me, direct message me on Instagram, and they're like, hey, we've never met. We don't have any mutual friends, but I've been following you for 6 months, and I just feel like I know you, and I just would really like you to be my real estate agent. It happens
Yeah,
all the
I
time.
love that.
It's
Strong.
amazing.
It's
Yeah.
strong. Well, and what you are though is you're showing your style, you're showing your character by giving things away. They're relating to you because a lot of your posts, they're just so much fun, but they have a certain style to them too. That it's a very uplifting, clean kind of look to it all,
Sure.
and you're attracting the people that are your crew. Basically they're your people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well,
And
it's cool because a lot of us end up friends after the fact, because I am attracting those kind of people. I'm
yeah.
attracting my tribe.
Yeah, you're tracking the tribe. And I really believe that's true. That's now I'm on a whole different platform. I'm on Facebook. I don't get Instagram that much. So it's a whole different platform for me, but I teach people all the time, let them see who you are, because you will attract the people that are like you, that want to do business with you. And it's
Yep.
a big deal. And there's some nuggets that we just talked about, be yourself, give things away, be on purpose. Of your business. This is a business. You got to create your business plan. You got to follow a plan. This isn't a hobby. We're diving in and we're doing it. One of the
Yeah.
tools I know that you use to kind of capture those people on there is something I noticed it for a while. I kept saying something going on with these people who just have one word that they say in their post. If post this word if you're interested, and boom, I'm like, something's happening in there. And that's ManyChat, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And and it's a way, it's a tool. We don't need to dive into it here, but for those that are listening, check it out. And also I interviewed Caten on another YouTube that we did the other day, and we'll have that link below so you can go learn a little bit more about it and reach out to her. And
Yeah,
but that's a powerful tool to help the people pull in and connect with you. Like
totally.
it puts them through a process. It's like a little funnel system, right?
It is. Yeah, it is. And it's so user friendly. And I think, one of the biggest objections I get from other agents about utilizing social media to market is that they don't have time. And I'm like, no, well, you're not making time, but like, you really don't need that much time to create good content. I sit down for like an hour a week and I plan out my week's worth of content, including like filming it if I need to, or anything like that. And so it's ready to go. And then my lead collection, because of ManyChat, is automated. So I don't
Yes.
have to, I mean, I could post, interact a little bit and then kind of set it and forget it if I really wanted to. Now I don't because I show up and I want people to build that know, like, and trust. But I mean, my lead collection, my lead generation could essentially go on autopilot after I hit post.
Yeah. And that's a powerful tool. So you're doing multiple things, but at bringing that in, it's a big play in itself. Because like you said, they'll come right into your DM and they'll say, "Hey, I want to go," or you can use that. I like that being evergreen, just never quitting. It's just always working for you. And we as realtors, we need tools that will help us leverage our time so much because
Mm-hmm.
that, time it's hard. We're going all the time and there has to be more and more systems like this where we pay attention to and we learn how we can be much more efficient with our time so that we're
Yeah.
not burnt out because this
Yeah.
is an easy business to get burnt out in.
Yeah, I've burned out more times than I'd like to admit. Especially, I mean, even last year, I burned out so many times, and so I really sat down and I was like, okay, where am I spending so much of my time, and how can I figure out how to automate or outsource that? So, mini
Right.
chat's been a really big thing for me, because social media I do spend a lot of time on because that is my lead generation method. So I'm
Hmm.
not spending 2 hours a day cold calling because I've got my social media set up. So
Right.
I really have been looking for tools and building out back end systems and funnels so that that really can be automated. And then, I show up where I'm needed, to kind of take it from there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's a nugget right there. We've got to find those tools. Um, I use Go High Level, which is a funnel system. And so I have automated emails that go out every week that invite people into trainings on agents into training because I'm looking to empower agents. And so that training happens, it goes out on Monday. It reminds them Tuesday morning there's about to be a Zoom, sends them a text. This is all automated. Now I do have a VA who creates and updates those emails because they change every week. But for the most part, it's a standardized email that we did just upgrade utilizing AI so that the wording was more engaging
Sure.
and
Love
had a
it.
lot more little emojis in there just for like color and stuff to attract them. So we're going to be testing that out next week. But Go High Level is a great website system. And all the YouTubes that I do also go out to those people that are in that mailing list for me. And I was just looking at it this morning to see what are they looking at over one thing or another, because not everybody is interested in the training, because mine are all going to realtors. However, I saw a lot are opening up my YouTubes, which
Hmm.
was really interesting to me. And that's fun to be able to check your analytics to see what you're doing, regroup, readjust, things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I love that.
I love that tool.
Well, I think
Um,
something that you're so passionate about and you're doing so many trainings on for real estate agents specifically is AI. And AI can
yeah,
take so much off people's plates as well. So I think, more power to you for teaching people on that because I think a lot of agents are either one, scared of AI, or two,
yep,
don't feel like they have the time to be able to learn AI, which is crazy because AI can literally teach you how to use AI.
right,
But, I think this is such a blessing that you're hosting these things so that people can start to
thanks.
learn like the power of taking things off your plate and letting technology handle it.
Yes. I just now, you and I are both with EXP, and this is not an EXP pitch. I was talking, I had coffee with a fellow agent the other morning, and I was talking about AI. And I said, man, the realtors that don't choose to learn about AI are just going to be lost in the sweep of things. And he was saying, well, did you see that we have this new guy, this young guy from Australia, who's got all these classes on AI where there are these videos and stuff, and it's all there for us. And I'm like, what? Let me see
Cool.
what's going on. So I'll send that to you. But that's within the system. And I was like, these are amazing. It's this young guy. I mean, he looks like he's barely 20. And but that's who knows it the best, right? They just
Right.
absorb it. It's like talking to them. And even how they lay out all their little videos of the how-tos. Freaking love these guys. Fortunately, they do them in smaller clips so people like me can only retain something for so long. I can do that step. Okay, I can do that step. And it was like the prepping and and not just getting the ChatGPT 3, getting the 4, and why it was worth it and different things that are there. Yeah, I'm a fan of AI. I'm over the moon, and I know a piece, just a smidge, but I know a lot more than many.
Yeah.
And I want to share it. I just want
Yeah.
to empower all these agents.
Yeah. Well, and like that's the cool thing too. Like taking it back to social media, one of the other objections is I don't know what to post. Go
Yeah,
on AI or go on Chat GPT and ask, what are sellers looking for? Like what, prompts or what topics are sellers looking for and when they're prepping to sell their home? Or, what are buyers in Charlotte, North Carolina searching for, when they're trying to buy a home? Like you can put in literally anything and
right?
start getting prompts and then use the knowledge that you have being in the field every day and make
Yes.
some content about it. I mean, it doesn't have to be lengthy or intense. Like it can just be little nuggets of knowledge. And
Yep.
and that's that takes out the time and the what to post
Right.
objections.
I had an agent text me last night. She goes, I think I really want to start doing open houses, but I want to do it better than the average guy. And I heard about a questionnaire that you could have out for the buyers as they came through. And I said, well, let me think about that a minute. I said, well, if I did that, um, I'd want it to be casual. I'd want to have clipboards that I could hand them to them as they came in. So nice and easy, more about the house than it is about them, so that
Sure.
they're helping. And I would pitch it that it was, you're really going to help myself and the seller know how the feedback is about the house, if you wouldn't mind doing that. And if you're comfortable, put your name and your email address down at the bottom and just kind of get that comfort zone going, right? So I went on ChatGPT and I prepped it, which is very important, who it was and what I was looking, who I was, what I needed. And man, it printed out, I think it was an 8, because I was limited on how many questions. I didn't want it to go on forever. So just give me about 8 questions and make it enough where it will talk about the house. That was the vague thing that I said. And man, it popped out a great thing. I shot it over to her. I said, do this, get your clipboards, give it a shot, and analyze it. You got nothing to lose with that.
Right.
And now you're different than the average open house person where they're just walking in and the people are walking in and you're right at the door, like, can I help you? And just like a furniture salesperson. No,
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
to be special.
Yeah. I love that. I
I
love
do
that.
too. I love that completely. So many things that we can do with AI. That'll also, we're going to be on a panel together. We're kind of sharing our tips of just some of the nuggets that we're able to do with AI that make time efficient, make us look superior over our peers, the peers that aren't learning AI. And that's why it's so important. If this is your business, then let's get involved with AI. Let's level up. Follow us because we got lots of stuff to share.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I think that's what's so fun about us in our community is like we just love to share and build each other up. So it's like what I know, and I'm happy to share it kind of thing.
Right? I love that. Well, I think that's probably great. Then we can wrap that up. Another great podcast here. And I'm really grateful that you joined us on Real Estate Riches. And I hope that if you like this, you subscribe below and share it, tell everybody about it, and come back for the next one. Thanks again. Thanks, Caten.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining me on this episode of Real Estate Riches. Wasn't that great? I'm sure you got a nugget or two. I know I did. So if you liked it, please subscribe below, share it with everybody, make some comments. We really find that invaluable. And if you're thinking that you would love to talk about this a little bit more, let's schedule a business strategy call. I'll have the link below. And let's see if we can't mastermind together and see if we can empower each other. That would be great. So until next time, signing off. Hope to see you on the next one.